Hey guys, it's Patrick here with Lost Inferno Games, and today we're going to talk about a very simple topic of should you build your game dev PC or should you buy it? Now, I made a previous video breaking down what's the perfect game dev PC for beginners, and I'm actually technically a beginner game dev as well. I've started working on my 2D platformer Lost Fox. You can find more about my game at my website. I'll put the link in the description. You'll learn more about the game and how you can get notified about it with updates. So what we're looking at today is I'm building the PC that I recommended for beginners to buy in 2022. Building it, and I'm gonna start and finish my game. Hopefully, as long as nothing crazy happens, life can get in the way. We're gonna use this whole PC, and I'm gonna report on how well the PC is doing. I've bought a lot of these. I've kept the cost down for me pretty low because I bought this used. It's like $850 sitting here, maybe less. I'll put a picture up on the screen of all the parts and. I had to use an i5 10 series or the 10th gen for Intel in the picture because, well, I didn't have 11th gen. I bought it used at Amazon, so I just put in a placeholder for that. But you probably want an 11th gen to match with 11th gen Intel motherboard. But that's kind of the thing, right? Is do you really want to know what all that I just said means? Do you really want to be able to be matching up CPUs, processors with motherboards? Is that something you want to spend your time with? Are you interested in building a PC? Because it's all kind of about skill acquisition at this point. Like, do you want to know you can build a PC whenever you want and be proud that you built the PC that you're working on? That's how I would look at building a PC. But realistically, when it comes to buying a PC, if you want the same specs you're getting here, look to spend $300 or $400 extra, depending on chip shortages, GPU shortages, depending on what the global economy is like for PC parts in general. You're just pay a little bit more, and that really doesn't. I mean, that's a lot of money at one time. But if the computer lasts you 3 to 5 years, then spreading that money out, it's actually probably worth it if you don't want to hassle yourself with learning how to build a PC and learning about putting parts together and getting the most performance out of it that you'd like. So that's kind of like the two ways of looking at it is, building it, save some money on it, but then you also could just buy that. And it gets really weird. Like, it gets really weird when you're trying to scope out PC specs when you get into laptops. Because it's April 2022 at the time of this filming. Like, the laptops, you can get an Asus ROG Zephyrus, a G14. It's a 14-inch laptop. A small screen, but it's color accurate. It's very fast refresh rate. That helps you with gaming when you're not, actually building your game. But it also is so interesting how that thing has 8-core processor, a 3060 in it, a terabyte of, you get a terabyte of storage, 16 gigs of RAM. You're basically rocking and rolling. You have a nice keyboard and a nice screen, and you have a good touchpad. Like, you don't even have to buy a mouse, even though you just add $25 on top of that, and then you have a full-fledged workstation to start making games, and everything that you're running on the laptop is going to be very similar to what people, if someone were to buy your game tomorrow, what would they be experiencing when you run your game and you test it. So that's so when you think about those two different things, you're like, wow, I don't know if it's really that much. Is it really that worth it? Is it really worth it to be building these things when you could just be buying a laptop and doing that? It's really interesting. I wonder what you think in the comments below. It's going to be kind of a short video because my obvious preference would be to just build it. I enjoy building PCs. It's kind of fun for me to put out there in my previous video. This is the best game dev computer. Build it and then report on how it performs. That's kind of like a double whammy, actually, of not only did I build the PC, but I told everyone else to build the same one, and I'm trying to prove that it is the best one for game dev when you're starting out. But not everyone's doing that, so I shouldn't expect that kind of, that's not a benefit for you guys to prove me right. It's only a benefit for me. So that's kind of the thing, right? Is trying to figure out, do I want to be building PCs? Do I want to just buy a laptop or a pre-build? And just go that way. I would argue that's probably the best for most people, because there is definitely an element of stress when you build your first computer. You're like, oh my god, I could break anything. And any video tutorial you watch will say, be very careful when doing X, Y, Z. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart at first time, but as you build more, you get more comfortable. But the idea is you build your first game, you build your first PC to build your first game, and then the ideal is for that first game to be of a certain level of success, and then you can buy a supercomputer and just pay someone to build it, and then you don't have to touch it, and just save the time and work on your next game. So yeah, so anyways, that's how I'd look at it from both angles, anyways. From a builder's perspective, or from someone that just wants to start making games. What do you think in the comments below? Do you think we should just be making the games? Should we be building the PC? I mean, should we just be buying the PCs, or should we just be building the PCs? I'd love to know your comments below and why you believe that's the way to go. If there's anything, am I missing something? Is something amiss? I'd love to hear that as well in the comments below. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.